Welcome back. The House of Senate suspended Senator Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan for 6 months over alleged violation of Senate rules. The suspension, which took effect from 6 March 2025, was issued based on the report of the Senate Committee on Ethics, Code of Conduct and Public Petitions. The committee also recommended the withdrawal of her salary and security aids, a handover of all Senate properties in her possession, prohibition from entering the Senate, and restriction from a presentation as a senator both locally and internationally. During the course of the suspension, of course, the Senate may, however, consider lifting the suspension before the end of the 6 months if a written apology is tabled before it by Senator Akpoti-Uduaghan. Now, joining me to discuss this issue from our Abuja studio, join us virtually, we have Adam Abolo. He's a political analyst. Adam, good to have you on the show this evening.
Good evening.
Thank you very much.
Good evening, viewers.
All right. I also have Justice Ujino right here with me, a legal practitioner who will be taking us through the ambits of the law within how this whole process has been on from the beginning. How are you doing, my brother?
It's my pleasure.
It's good to see you. I'll begin with you very, very straight up. Now, as a matter of fact, everyone has been talking about the weight of the suspension. But from the look of things, the weight of the suspension is still pending on an apology, to be tendered by her, meaning that she might not necessarily serve the whole 6-month suspension. If she can tender an apology, hopefully everything will be restored. So it's not as weighty as people think. It's based on the fact that you erred and you're not admitting you erred. And we are saying this suspension is pending when you bring an apology letter. How would you, relate to all of these issues that's been rambling for days now?
Okay, for me, I think that it's a weighty one.
Okay.
They came down very, very heavy on her. And at some point, before it was even amended, the application for her suspension also included her legislative aids too being suspended. Yeah. I feel that it is very, very, very weighty. Being an international observer too, I observe international politics when it comes to legislators and legislature. What happened with respect to MTG, Marjorie Taylor Greene, Ilhan Omar in the US, what usually happens is they still allow them inside, but they censure them. They don't let them
see anything.
Yeah, they don't let them participate. They are not on committees. They don't, because I feel that if we say she should come back in 6 months' time, if everything about what she's doing is locked up and she doesn't participate in legislative activities in 6 months, it's going to probably affect how she's going to, her constituents, and how she's going to be able to catch up when she's eventually allowed back. So, having also said that, there is a theoretical part of this whole issue that I have been arguing even from when I was a student. Right. I feel that Section 60 of our Constitution does not give the Senate or the House of Reps the power to actually suspend any legislators, because the power to become a legislator and represent the constituency is a constitutional one that has been given to particular legislators pursuant to the election that they participated in and the victory, and the fact that INEC returned them to the office. You
want to go on a rumble. I'll be coming back on you on that. Okay. Anyway. All right. Now, Adams, very quickly, the sexual harassment allegations that began to take a foothold in the media and bringing the Senate institution to a disrepute. Was that the way to go?
Well, it's quite unfortunate what has happened recently. The hallowed chambers of the Senate has been met with certain controversies that has put that institution in a very terrible light. And the kind of ones being spewed by Senator Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan has put the Senate at a point where Nigerians are not happy with the caliber of leadership in that institution. Right. But to be fair to the Senate too, this has been within the realms of allegations. And then to come to it, the suspension of Senator Natasha Akpoti was done clearly on the basis of the contravention of Senate rules, as we have been made to understand by the Senate leader. distinguished senator, the distinguished senator from Ekiti. We have seen that the issues of the sexual allegations against the Senate president has actually not come to public purview much, because her petition to that effect has been rejected by the Senate Committee on Ethics. So we are yet to come to a decisive end to this issue. There is more to come, because in the days to come, we are going to have a situation where Senator Natasha Akpoti would be needed to prove the weighty allegations against the person of the Senate president,
Okay.
Yes.
Now, Justice Jedam, very quickly, according to the standby orders of the Nigerian Senate, right, the president of the Senate has the right to assign and reallocate seats to the senators. And of course, the Section 6, subsection 2 specifically states that a senator may only speak from the assigned seat. There was a case during Senator Saraki's tenure when Akpabio himself, the senator, erred by sitting on a wrong seat. In fact, he was assigned to sit on a seat. He said he preferred to sit on a particular seat, and there was a fiasco in the House. I recall Ndume walking up to him and saying, this should not cause a rowdy session here. There was chaos in the House, and Senator Saraki had to restore order and referred to the clerk and said, clerk, let's understand what the situation is here. Did you assign a seat to this man? And he refused. He said, yes. The seat I assigned to him had a microphone function. The one he wanted to sit didn't have a microphone function. But let me tell you what the twist is. Senator Saraki was able to settle the issue and said, Senator Akpabio, it's for your own good, so that when you speak, we can hear you and the plenary can move on. And guess what happened? Senator Akpabio apologized for his misconduct, told the fellow senators and said, I'm sorry for this misconduct, it shouldn't happen. And plenary went on. But in the case of Natasha, you were told to leave your seat to your assigned seat. You sat down there and you were talking over the senator. I mean, should we say the rules should be bent because it's a woman involved here? I mean, the narrative out there now is the fact that the Senate president was discriminating against her, trying to oppress her, but that was not the case. Come on. Should we be lenient when it comes to the law because it's a female?
Okay, for me, I think that the law should be blind when it comes to no matter whose ox is God, no matter what sex is involved. I feel that as much as possible, in as much as we are trying to be sentimental and emotional about these issues, we shouldn't cut an extra slack for anybody, whether the person is male or female. The only time we should cut a slack for a female is to treat them tenderly. So having said that, we must try to distinguish what the situation was then and what the situation is now.
Okay.
From everything I've heard, there is more to it than meets the eyes.
Okay, there is more.
It is not only what happened on the Senate floor on that day that is at play.
Accumulated.
That is at play now.
Okay.
That is actually in issue now.
Okay.
I think it is way beyond that.
Okay.
Since there is an arm of it already in court,
right,
let them have their day in court. But as much as possible, the business of the Senate should be run with so much respect, and procedure should be strictly followed, because now it is not only about the Senate president. What the Senate is even saying is that apologize to the Senate and let us put all this behind us.
Right.
So I feel that, honestly, I would ask her, if I have her ears, to eat the humble pie and do the apology to the Senate, while she continues
the fight on the
court
sexual harassment allegations
with the senator, with the Senate president. But Mark, please, I want to use this opportunity to also relitigate the fact that I do not feel that Section 60 of our Constitution allows for all the other legislators to deprive the constituents of Senator Natasha or any other legislator, maybe in future, maybe in the past, the ability or the privilege to get represented on the floor of the House. Any other thing that can be done should be done. but not suspending. What if her suspension is extended and extended and extended for the next 4 years? Is that what the Constitution intends?
But I hope you know, with leadership comes responsibilities too, right?
Absolutely.
All right, we'll take a short break now, and when we return, Newsy continues in a moment. Stay with us.